These professional chefs all want to break into the top ranks of the world's culinary elite. Deciding who has the talent to cut it is MasterChef judge Greg Wallace.
Lovely flavours, lovely flavours.
And culinary legend Michel Roux Jr. With 2 Michelin stars, he's expecting perfection.
It looks like the kind of stuff you'd see on a pavement outside a pub on a Saturday night.
Cooking doesn't get better than this. These 3 chefs all share one ambition: to climb to the top of their profession and become the inspiration of a generation. But in today's show, only one of them will be good enough to make it through to Friday's quarter-final.
There are thousands of average chefs out there, but that's not what we're looking for.
We are looking for Michelin-starred potential. Real wonderful cooks who are going to go on and make a real name for themselves in this industry.
To get a Michelin star or one day in my life would be a dream come true. I would really sacrifice a lot.
What really inspires me and what's my driving force behind my career is giving people the satisfaction and making them happy with the food that I've cooked.
I was looking for a part-time job. I went in as a dishwasher in a small hotel. From that, I was just looking up at the chefs and thinking, wow, look what they're doing with this food. To be the best, you have to give up a hell of a lot in your personal life, which I've done.
I want to see craftsmanship, talent, and natural flair.
I don't want to be fed well, I want to be wowed. You all share the same dream, and that is to cook your own food at the highest possible level. The gentleman beside me is Chef Michel Roux Jr., who has held 2 Michelin stars since 1991.
I'll be looking for skill, individuality, to great plates of food.
Let's cook.
This is the versatility test. They have 50 minutes to show how skilled they are by producing 2 completely different dishes out of today's ingredient: rainbow trout. Their larder includes sorrel, harissa, capers, swede, puff pastry, white wine, pernod, beetroot, new potatoes and frozen peas, and a selection of plates and dishes to test their presentation skills.
We're looking for pure flavours, flavours that don't kill the vital ingredient, trout. There are a lot of skills involved in preparing a trout. It has very, very fine bones. Can they pull out each individual pin bone without making a mess of the fish? It needs to be handled with care and with love and attention.
I'm still very young, but I believe my passion should show through.
Okay, Thomas, tell us what you're cooking for us tonight.
I'm still a little bit undecided. I mean, I've just been kind of overwhelmed, really, with what I've got here. I mean, there's so many things that keep going through my head.
Well, you know you've only got 50 minutes.
I know, I know, I'm trying to get it all together now.
What kind of training have you had, Thomas?
Mainly through brasseries and gastro pubs. I haven't never really touched the Michelin level yet, but I've always dreamed of doing it.
How ambitious are you?
I'm determined to sacrifice anything, but I've just got to get over these first 5-minute nerves and I'll be on it.
"20 minutes gone already."
Even though I'm quite a big person, I've got quite a delicate touch, and I like the delicate flavours, and I think that's my strength, really.
Right, James, do you want to tell us what you're cooking today?
I'm doing Provençal vegetables with a fillet of trout, and then I'm going to do a crushed potato base with some minted peas and mange too, very simple and clean, and then another fillet on trout on top of that as well.
Well, that all sounds very sound and safe in many ways.
Absolutely.
But what's going to make the difference with your dishes?
It's going to be safe but perfect. I hope.
And where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I would love to have my own restaurant, and I'd love a Michelin star.
As a chef, I'm very driven. I think what's going to make me stand out is the balancing of flavours that I'm going to try and do.
Where have you worked?
I've trained in America for 6 months, Minnesota, and then just small restaurants, really.
And are you ambitious?
Yeah, very ambitious, yeah.
What do you want, Adam?
Ideally, I'd like my own hotel, restaurant.
Ooh.
With 10 minutes to go, Michelle realises James has a problem.
James has mistaken the little bowl of harissa that we gave them for tomato puree. I am going to let you taste that one first.
You have 1 minute. Time is up.
26-year-old James's first dish is a fillet of trout with Provençal vegetables, but he's mistaken spicy harissa for tomato puree.
Cardinal mistake is not tasting your food.
Yeah.
Nicely cooked fish, very nice. And the flavour nearly gets through. It gets through the sweetness of those vegetables. What it doesn't get through is the harissa that you put in there, thinking that it was tomato puree.
Can he redeem himself with his second dish, a fillet of trout, caper and lemon dressing, crushed potatoes and minted vegetables?
Lovely flavours. Lovely, lovely flavours. Buttery, warm, nice fish, soft potatoes. You get a bit of crisp sweetness coming through from those vegetables. Oh yeah, you turn your back, I'll eat it.
Great.
Everything's seasoned beautifully.
Thank you.
The trout's cooked well. This dish tells me that you have tasted your food.
Yeah.
The one previous, the
Yeah.
complete opposite.
It is a big mistake, but it's one I think that I can recover from.
21-year-old Thomas has baked his trout with fennel, white wine, Pernod and herbs.
Thomas, I actually like this. It looks beautiful. It is ever so slightly overcooked, but because it's been kept in a bag, it's actually stayed very moist. It's seasoned well. The fennel, I think you may have put in there raw.
Yeah, I did.
You did. It would have been better to either pan fry or partially cook your fennel first. The idea behind the dish is very good. It's just the execution.
Nice, moist, flesh, packed full of flavour, slight Pernod, little bit of citrusy. Very good.
Will his second dish of pan-fried trout with wilted greens, sautéed potatoes and caper sauce meet top restaurant standards?
Without sounding rude, it looks like the kind of stuff you'd see on a pavement outside a pub on a Saturday night. Mange two are raw. And I mean raw. I reckon you could put them back in the ground and they would grow again. The fish is cooked well, lovely and moist, but what is killing the flavour is this very thick sauce on top.
Yeah.
It's not up to scratch.
This fish is nicely cooked. It just looks like someone's picked it up and thrown it from one end of the kitchen to the other.
My nerves just went and my confidence slipped away, and then it would just all went horribly wrong. Ugh.
Will 23-year-old Adam's ambition be reflected in his confit fillet of trout with a salad of courgette and beetroot and a caper and parsley dressing?
I actually like this plate. I love the colours. I just hope it tastes as good as it looks, basically. For me, fish confit should be translucent when it's cooked, which I think you've probably taken this to a slightly too high a temperature. Unfortunately, in your little salad there's lacking some acidity.
The fish is soft. I like it. The only other flavour there is a slight sweetness of beetroot. It's a dish I would eat and enjoy, but it's not a memorable dish.
Will his seared trout with Swede tatin, wilted sorrel and white wine sauce show more flair?
The fillets have been beautifully filleted. Very precise. Lovely skills there. The fish is beautiful. Very good. The sauce itself is actually very nice. It's got a nice balance to it. The Swede's actually beautifully cooked, well seasoned. Your puff pastry isn't quite cooked enough.
Actually, that Swede, slightly sweet, is an unusual but lovely accompaniment with this fish. Surprised me.
You're cooking for one of the best chefs in the world. To get what's in your mind onto that plate at exactly the right moment, it's really tough.
This is only halfway. There is another round to go, and at the end of it, 2 of you are going home, but we will have 1 quarter-finalist. Go and get a break. Thank you very much.
Thomas's fish in a bag, basically, was very sound. His second dish was absolutely awful. I didn't even want to taste it, to be honest.
Thomas was very, very nervous, and he has messed up royally. He is now going to be desperate to show us how good he is.
I'm really gutted, and now I just really want to pull it back now. I'm going to have to pull it back in this next one, really pull it back.
James's food, his first plate, at any rate, was, I thought, very pretty, very elegant, in fact. His big problem, those Mediterranean flavours, they were completely overpowered by the harissa. Such a shame.
But he did redeem himself, I think, with those minted vegetables.
I didn't taste my food like I should have done. It's the first rule, taste, and then taste it again. So I've got to learn from it.
Adam's first dish, visually, very pretty, very clever. Taste, not there. His second course, his fish was perfectly cooked. The cream sauce, I thought, was very good.
I don't feel it showed a true representation of myself. Hopefully in the next task I can go on and show these guys that I really am. I could be a fine dining chef.
To be a great chef, you must have understanding of the classics. The classics are the foundation of gastronomy.
You have the ingredients and the recipes for 2 classic dishes.
Pork chop with sauce Robert and poire belle Hélène, one of the greatest French desserts ever. You have 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Good luck. Off you go.
Their first classic is pork chop with sauce Robert, a recipe thought to be over 300 years old.
The cooking of the pork chop is vitally important. It should be brown on the outside, but it must be a little bit pink in the middle. The sauce Robert is a sauce made from meat juices and then reduced down with shallots and then thickened with a little bit of butter, a little bit of mustard and a pinch of sugar. It must be rich, not sticky, but it must have that velvety feel in the mouth.
Poire Belle Hélène was created by legendary 19th century chef Escoffier.
I adore Poire Belle Hélène, but there are so many pitfalls to this. Are they going to be able to cook the pear properly with enough vanilla in the syrup to give it that wonderful, deep, rich flavour? The chocolate sauce should be bitter, shiny, delicious. We've given them an added difficulty. I want a little tuile, a little biscuit, almond biscuit, nice and crispy and crunchy. You've done these classics before?
Yeah, I've done the pear. Haven't done the pork, but I've got in my mind what I think you're wanting from this.
Well, what are we wanting from this?
You're looking for a quite reduced sauce, lightly cooked pork.
And what about the Poire Belle Hélène? What do you think is going to make the difference between your Poire Belle Hélène and the others?
It's the pear, poaching the pear. Getting the flavour into that pear whilst it's poaching and cooling.
Half an hour left. As soon as we announced the dishes, I saw a great big grin.
I love the pear dish. I think it's fantastic. In the last round, I didn't perform because I was nervous. This time, I've got to show a bit of confidence and a bit of oomph, a bit of drive. I'm actually loving it now, and I'm going to blow your socks off.
Well, to be honest, Thomas, you've got a little bit of catching up to do.
Yes.
You know that, and you're firing on all cylinders, so that's great. I love to see that.
Ten minutes. James, what do you suppose we judges are now looking for in you?
I think I would hope that you're looking that I've taken on some of the comments from this morning. There were quite clear instructions. I need to refine, I need to get my balance right on the plate.
Presentation, a bit of a dainty touch from a big man?
I'd like to think so, yeah. I'd hope so.
Nothing wrong with your flavours, chef.
Right, thank you very much.
Other than the harissa.
Last 60 seconds. Finished! Walk away.
With a quarter-final place at stake, will the chef's classic dishes reach the standard required? First under scrutiny is their pork Robert.
Righto, Thomas. We'll kick off with you.
Thomas has served his with fondant potato and parsnips on a bed of red cabbage.
I think you've taken your pork a couple of seconds over.
The potato is ever so slightly underdone in the middle, yet crispy burnt edges on the outside. The pork is overdone, and the sauce is the right consistency, but it is odd. It has an odd taste, and I think that taste is coming from the fact that you put your sauce Robert in an iron frying pan. The acidity has reacted with the iron and given it that almost metallic aftertaste.
Your turn, James.
James has made roasted turnips and mashed potato to go with his pork.
Great mashed potato. I like your sauce, nice flavours. It's the sweet turnip I love.
The pork chop is overcooked. The sauce, the consistency is right. It's lovely, it's shiny. That is a very, very good sauce Robert.
Thank you.
Well done.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Your turn, Adam.
Adam has served his with cabbage and bacon and sautéed potatoes.
The first flavour that comes in there is the salty bacon. Cabbage is a nice crunch texture. The pork manages to fight through with flavour as well, but the sauce doesn't.
Beautifully cooked pork chop. I'm talking with my mouth full because I'm so eager to tell you. That is moist and pink, just how I like it. The sauce is definitely not a sauce Robert, it's just a plain meat jus, but your pork was perfectly cooked.
It's down to the Poire Belle Hélène. It's the last chance for the chefs to shine.
We're going to start with you, Thomas.
Thomas is presenting his dessert with a cocoa powder stencil and spun sugar. Will it be enough to keep him in the competition?
Beautiful tuile biscuits, perfectly cooked, chocolate sauce a little bit thick, pear lacking a little bit of sugar.
You're picking up lovely spice on the pear. Your chocolate sauce, it's nice and bitter. I think you have a fine career as a pastry chef.
I hope I've shown little bits of flair, and I've hoped my passions come across.
Your turn, James.
Can James continue to impress with his spiral and basket-shaped tuiles?
I think the presentation is very pretty, very elegant. Well done.
Thanks.
Your chocolate sauce is actually delicious, but the pear is very bland and undercooked.
Your chocolate sauce is rich and it's dark and it's full of cocoa and it's quite bitter. The cream is whipped to a nice consistency. Your pear isn't cooked enough, and I'm not picking up any other flavour other than the chocolate.
Right. The fact is, it was a poached pear and it hadn't been poached long enough, so it didn't have enough flavour. It wasn't tender enough. Big disappointment, but you know, it's just something I'll just have to live with.
Your turn, Adam.
Adam has served his pear with chantilly cream and spiral-shaped tuile biscuits.
Good, good, good. But there is nowhere near enough chocolate sauce.
The pear is heavenly because it has the right amount of sugar in it and just the right hint of spices. That's glorious. Why, oh why have we not got more chocolate sauce?
My pear didn't quite chill enough, so it wasn't sticking to the pear.
Could have put more on the plate.
I know. I would have thought I'd have messed the plate up.
Deliver it in a little sauce boat, but
Yeah.
get it over here somehow.
The pressure and the fact of being in a strange situation, maybe that's why the small mistakes have come around.
It's not going to be a quick and easy judging decision, I can tell you that. So go and make a pot of tea. We'll get you back in as soon as we can. Off you go. This is the professional MasterChef. We are looking for real stars of the future.
Poor Thomas, I think he is totally out of his depth. His pan-fried rainbow trout with that creamy caper sauce on top was an aberration. His pork chop was severely overcooked.
But his poire belle Hélène was great. But no way is he up to the required standard right now.
Something just tells me inside that I haven't done it. You never know, though, I guess.
James, he didn't taste what he thought was tomato puree and actually chucked in more than a tablespoon full of harissa.
Somebody who wants to aspire to greatness tastes his food as he's cooking it.
But he had beautiful minted and buttered vegetables cooked really well. So the guy showed he knew a thing or two about flavour.
He'd slightly overcooked his pork chop. I'll forgive him, because his sauce Robert was absolutely spot on. His poire belle Hélène, the pear, was still raw.
I think that I've displayed that I can cook, but there are areas where I need to improve.
Adam's pork chop, precision cooking. It was moist, it was pink, it was fantastic.
He then put up in front of me a great-looking pear belle Hélène.
It was cooked to perfection. What a shame he didn't put more chocolate on there, though.
For me, I think that is just criminal.
I feel that I've made a few mistakes today that I shouldn't have made, but then I think I've showed them enough skill and enough technique, enough knowledge to go through.
The best thing I ate today was from James.
The best thing that I ate today was from Adam. The chef going through to the next round is Adam.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
I'm a little bit disappointed, obviously, but onwards and upwards, you know, I'll be back.
There is an element of disappointment, but certainly a lot of good things I'm taking from it. And also I'll put sauce Robert on my menu probably as well.
Awesome, brilliant. I'm over the moon. I can't wait to the next time now.
Adam will be back for Friday's quarter-final. Tomorrow, 3 more chefs battle it out for the title of Professional MasterChef.
Don't blame equipment, don't blame anything other than yourself.
Over on BBC One now, Len Goodman joins The One Show. Next here on BBC Two, highlights from the Paralympic Games today from Beijing. And it's a double bill of The Real Hustle on BBC Three.